All of Urban Alchemy's ATX, Arch, and DSC shelter operators are busy assisting other callers. Please leave a detailed message with your name, phone number, and the reason for your call. Please be aware that due to HIPAA laws, we may be limited on the type and/or amount of information we are able to provide. Thank you for your understanding. Due to our high call volumes, please allow operators sufficient time to return your call. Thank you, and have a great day on purpose.
Hello, this is Kiana Clark. I did multiple different grievances regarding someone getting in the shower with me. This person also jumping in front of me, and staff had jumping on trying to fight me, and staff had to hold her back. This person also attacked me outside and tried to steal my phone. Then parties trapped me in on the elevator, did all kind of peculiar things, threatened me. They stole items from me, monitored me relentlessly on camera footage. Someone soaked my phone in malice and scratched up my phone in malice. And then a staff member tried to steal my backpack. So I just wanted to know why no one answered the grievances, because all this would be captured on camera footage. And then eventually, so I was put out for reporting mistreatment by people staying there, residents. Please return my call. It's really bizarre. I've called all this time and no one has ever answered the phone. But they answer for other parties. I'm witnessing staff answering calls, but no one has ever answered the phone for me. My contact number.
If you are homeless, over the age of 18, and seeking day sheltering services, please present at our location between the hours of 6 a.m. and 7 p.m. to complete an intake. Day services are offered to our homeless guests between the hours of 5 a.m. and 5 p.m., 7 days per week. Night shelter is based upon availability. If you are a referring agency and need to make a referral, please leave a detailed message and one of our intake staff will return your call as soon as possible. This is a British shelter.
They never return my calls.
You cannot record a message for intake 3. This mailbox is full.
The other
Hello, you have reached
Austin
the
shelter
City
was
of
full
Dallas
too.
messaging system. To check your mailbox, press 1. To dial an extension, press 2.
Let's try
For
0.
a directory of extensions, press...
I did not recognize that as a valid entry.
Hello,
They
you have
never
reached the
answer the
Dallas
call.
messaging system. To check your mailbox,
It's
press
impossible.
1. To dial an extension, press 2. For a directory of extensions...
The operator's not available. It hung up time I stopped recording. Call ended. Another number came up. I don't know if I'm being taunted or if this is really a number.
Thank you for calling Bridge.
Oh, I've never had a number. Someone answer the phone. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How can I help?
Oh, yes, may I have your name?
This is the Bridge Homeless Recovery Center in Dallas. My name is Ms. Brown. How can I help you?
Yes, I would like to do, I tried to do a complaint because I had guards steal things from me. They opened water bottles and damaged got all my clothes wet in malice. They stole a blanket. Someone stole my phone. Someone stole clothes multiple times with laptops in it. And then I got a new bag. Someone stole that. So it kept happening. So I called the police. Multiple different times I was put out on blatant lies and I wanted to get to the bottom of it. Alvin would repeatedly start arguments and then deprive me of services and lie about multiple different services. And he wanted to make things difficult for me by sending me on scavenger hunts trying to get services at other locations that he was supposed to provide. So I'm not quite certain. I'm trying to put the pieces together. It's as if someone's controlling these environments. They let people terrorize me. It was on camera footage. And then I complained about this leak. It was hard for me to shower. The bathroom was flooded. They wouldn't fix it. And I had to wade through water going to the bathroom. They shut down all the other restrooms. And did you ever fix the leak? That's a trip hazard. I reported that and they didn't care. And then when I waded through the water to get in the showers, it was feces in them. Someone used the bathroom in the shower and they wouldn't do housekeeping. You there, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, I'm listening.
So did they ever fix the leak? Because that was a slip hazard, and I reported it, and they wouldn't fix it. It was all in the cafe. When you were in line trying to get food, the water was coming all out in the line. And in fact, at the Austin shelter, the first day I got there, that flooded. It was like a horror movie. The first day I got to the shelter in Austin, there was a flood. I think someone was trying to let me know who was in control. But nonetheless, back to, did you ever get the leak fixed?
Now, Ma'am, I don't know where the leak is, what
In the
building.
woman's bathroom, in the woman's bathroom outside. I don't know why they shut all the restrooms down and then demanded that people would get put out for trying to charge their phone. That was
Okay,
bizarre.
no question. I was trying to answer it, so I'll let you talk.
You said you didn't know which bathroom, and I was communicating with you that it was the woman's bathroom outside, and then they shut usage of all the other restrooms down, forcing. And then what happens? Because if I was at the bridge an extended amount of time, and the women were forced to sleep on the floor in the cafeteria, are there like apartments or what is? I don't know the process. Can you explain what happens?
First of all, no one is forced to do anything except to follow the rules.
I'm just not quite certain if there was misconduct why you would start an argument, ma'am. I'm not quite certain on why you're not appalled.
I allowed you to speak. Now let me speak, please. We do not force anyone to do anything except for follow the rules and guidelines at the bridge. We do not force anyone to sleep on our floor in our dining room. That is a privilege for women and men who choose not to sleep outside on the sidewalk.
The men didn't have to sleep on the floor, right? The men had mats, right? The men had to sleep on the floor?
Ma'am, I will hang up if you don't listen to me, because I listen to you. Out of respect, hear me. I heard you.
She's muted. It's a scam. I'm going to enforce this crime.
It is an opportunity.
So she needs to. I'll hang up. They don't. She has to get her con straight on why women had to sleep on the floor.
But it is an opportunity.
But they do this at multiple different locations, target and violate women.
50 females that would normally be outside with nowhere to go at night.
So my abuser is chauvinistic, and he enlists these locations to be chauvinistic as well.
Allow someone else that
knowing you wouldn't believe the story.
Come in. It's not forced. It is a benefit. Okay? They have access to facilities. They have access to the lines, first of all, in the mornings and whatever else they need. They're already inside, so they have first in line service opportunities.
Okay, so are you concerned about staff stealing from me on camera footage in the police department?
Now, here's the thing.
And then putting me out because I had a theft?
You are responsible for keeping up with your possessions.
How can I keep up with it if staff is stealing from me? And I had to call the police because they kept stealing. Another item, I had a laptop in it and they stole it.
If you don't value your possessions and keep them with you, if you sit them down somewhere.
They demanded, security demanded. I'm not able to tell you what happened, ma'am. Security demanded that I ate my food. I tried to keep it with me. In the con, I'm not able to speak to tell you what happened, ma'am. This happens in multiple different calls. Security demanded that I leave my stuff by them while I ate. I tried to keep it with me, but security demanded that I leave my stuff. So nonetheless, security demanded that I left my stuff, and then they stole it.
No food is allowed on campus. No food, no drink.
I get experienced this call to call, ma'am. That's bizarre. I'm telling you that I was in the cafeteria. Security demanded that I leave my bag to steal it. And then so I called the police on security. I had just bought it that day.
Ma'am.
And then they put me out for reporting the theft.
No. When our staff asks you to do something, we need you to abide by that.
I did, ma'am. I'm just really not being heard location to location. I'm just trying to prove it. Okay. I don't know why you would condone staff security repeatedly stealing from me because it happened multiple different times. If you have cameras, anyone willing to do law enforcement, but if you condone the security stealing from parties, then I signed up for a bed in tears. I can't think of the guy's name right now. I think it was Andrew something. So I signed up for a bed and told him that I was being bullied at the shelter, and in fact, all of them. So I said that I was scared for my life, afraid for my life, and nothing's repeatedly done. So he said he got me a bed. So I waited, went through the long, drawn-out process. Security played games. Then I got in line. Everybody else had their bags down. Then someone took my bag again with all my items in it. And then I said I was calling the police. Then security, the person that I thought took it, said that no, whoever has her bag, put it back. I'm going to give this is your last warning before we review the camera footage. Then it was recovered. Then after that, they said that this party that put me on the list for a bed said that he gave my bed away to somebody else that needed it more. So I just moved away from Dallas. I realized it was too heavily controlled and I was powerless. Because you guys were robbing me blind of blankets. I tried to have to sleep on that hard floor. Our Daily Bread had already took my pillow, sleeping bag, and towels. So by the time I had got there and I was on a time crunch, I didn't have anything. And I had to sleep sitting up. And you guys didn't provide anything. So then they provided me with this thin blanket, and security distracted me and stole that. But security has stolen from me multiple different times at multiple different environments. Our Daily Bread security did it. That's why I didn't have my sleeping bag. It was new and pillow. I'm just trying to prove it. So first off, I think that there's a disconnect because you're not alarmed that your security was committing crimes at work. I would need to speak with someone that's alarmed that repeatedly kept happening on camera footage.
Who am I speaking with?
My name is Kiana Clark, and security has removed me being pushing and shoving me just simply for trying to get knowledge on services. And I've recorded some of the circumstances where security was bullying me, and then they banned me in a con. But I tried to report harassment and was removed because I'd walk and people would come in multiple different directions trying to block my path. There was too many people at the bridge. It's on camera footage. So they just really escalated it, and they were popping out in multiple different directions, scaring me, and I just couldn't really move. So it was so out of control. I said, security, I'm being harassed. So she put me out. And then they played mind games. They said, wait an hour or two. They needed to control other environments in the conspiracy. So they said, wait an hour or two. Then I waited the hour or two. They said, wait again. And then that I would be permitted to come in. And then they changed their mind and said, come back the next day. I came back the next day on the bus line. Then it was a game then. Then they concocted I was banned for reporting harassment. Then they realized they didn't make sense. So then they stated that I was banned for recording that security put me out for trying to report harassment. So I called the police on staff, and then the police department came and covered for it. So then after this ban or whatever was happened, then I came back, and then the con was, forget it, we're tired of scamming, we're just not going to give you a bid, and we don't have to, and they did. I signed up for a bid, then sometimes I was signed up for a bid, and then they said it was a glitch, and I didn't have the bid, and I was fighting for my life. Then you guys removed like multiple different locations. You guys knew I wasn't getting services, so you removed things off the bulletin board to try to hide that you were depriving me of services and programs. Salvation Army in Dallas did it because I look at the bulletin boards. PNS did it. So they just removed things off the bulletin board, and so people couldn't figure out the services that were offered because they knew I'd never see them. So it sounds like I'm expressing a lot of misconduct to you, and why I had to just, I was already put out of other locations and scams. The police came to multiple different locations and didn't put me out. And when I realized that I was being blacklisted, I just don't understand why the shelters would be in cahoots with such insanity and force a woman to endure something like this repeatedly over and over. And how is it that we got to the point to where security and multiple different other parties can rob someone and not be held accountable for it? That's theft. And then be so sadistic and condescending that they put me out after they robbed me.
Spell your first name, Ms. Clark.
It's Kiana, KeyanaClark. And the guy that put me out also told the police department, because I went to the police station because the police withheld my property, my money, and everything that I had. And when after I got released from jail on false charges, and the temperature was supposed to drop, so I couldn't get shelter. So I had no funds, and it was supposed to be cold. So I went to the police department. They brought me to the bridge, and the same party that pushed and shoved me for trying to get services and forced me to leave, and then they were laughing and joking around. They thought it was funny. Then when I had the theft of property, he put me out for reporting the theft. Then he was in cahoots with the police saying that I couldn't get shelter after going to the police department, telling them I was afraid for my life. They took me to the Bridge Homeless Shelter instead of a domestic violence organization where I still could not get shelter. And
when
this was
the last time you was at the bridge?
Let me see. One moment. That's when, let me see if I can remember this guy's name that told me that I cried to.
When was the last day?
I guess there's a disconnect. Can you hold for a second?
What week and what month? What month?
Yes, I'm asking you for a second. This happens quite repeatedly. Are you able to give me a second so I can figure that out?
So you don't know if it was in June of this year, July, May?
I was asking if I could have a second. Are you unwilling to give me a second?
I'm just asking a question.
These are the harassment tactics to cause emotional distress. She's muted.
Was it in 2025?
Actually, it was in 2024. I don't know the exact date, and that's what I'm trying to get for you. And I addressed to you that the bridge scam multiple different times. They commit a crime and then use that as an alibi to deny me of services. So what I'm trying to communicate with you is they got tired of scamming, so they just said, forget it, we're denying you services for no reason. But I'm not quite certain on why I call places all over the place and I'm reporting crimes, and it just doesn't appear that a lot of people are concerned about it. I don't understand why certain people can commit crimes and it's okay. I don't think security, what if they were robbing other people that stayed there? I've had multiple different bags that were stolen, like 3 or 4, and I had like 3 or 4 of them stolen from Austin Street Shelter. That's everything that I had.
The thing about that is you are responsible for...
I just, once again, ma'am, there's a disconnect. Security demanded. There's a disconnect, ma'am. People start argument.
I'm not going to talk over you, so please don't talk over me, okay?
So this is a scam number 2. I just don't have a proper understanding to if you not to have felonies. I'm not hearing you.
We feed at the bridge.
Like my children, like everyone else. So I just have this misunderstanding to not understand that people are committing crimes.
Because of the mess that can be made. People finish eating.
So I'm demanding that you listen to something that you're not saying.
In order for us to maintain a clean and nice appearance.
If you don't let me con to not have accountability for all these wrecked up felonies, I will hang up because you will take it until people are held accountable.
Then that's what you're supposed to do. And if you give them a hard time,
so some kind of way, she can't let me say that what you're saying is not accurate, like they do on multiple different other calls. She'll hang up.
We supply the food and drink.
What in the world does theft have to do with we supply the food and drinks? This is how you don't get your felonies.
Somebody's cleaning.
Just like the church, when you get yourself in a bind, just ignore it. Or threaten to hang up.
That make a mess.
What in the world? But 10 years plus of this nonsense. And I will hang up. I will hang up on the crisis line. We will not discuss your abuse on the crisis line. I have to disconnect. I have other calls on the crisis line.
It is already cleaned up. It is dirty again. Or they're on their way to
police department. You will not report crimes with the police department. I'll disconnect this call. Is this Ms. Clark again? If we have 300 and something reports, we will not investigate. Why aren't you taking the hint?
3 times on one shift they clean the restaurant. Not once.
They weren't cleaning the restrooms, and they have, they started minimizing the cleaning here in this new environment. I used to be OCD. That's why they do it.
It's the facility that made it nasty.
They do it in jail.
If it's broken, it's someone that we're trying to serve that broke it. Just get angry.
I'm speaking about this.
That takes money away from other services that we could be helping somebody with.
So they stole my phone. I got tired of the theft. So I said, you need to run back the camera footage because all it was a charging station. And everybody put their charger on the start charging station. And then this time, it was so many thefts, I just got tired. I said, roll back the camera footage, and I recorded it. So they were trapped because the person that stole it, the security's in the cops with. And since I recorded it this time, they demand that I don't record on property, so they're not being held accountable for their crimes. So since I did record it, they were forced to give me my phone back. And the con was that they thought they didn't know. There's some 15, 20 other phones charging. And they were targeted me, and they didn't know. And they gave it back to security. So they recovered it because I recorded it. But I've had theft, so I went through like 45, maybe 50 phones being targeted.
Hold your things and watch them and keep up with them. That's your stuff.
It's for like with my family. I'm just trying to prove it.
Unattended items can and will be discarded. Period. The signs are posted. You said you've been here before. You've been in other shelters. It's not a new rule.
I never talked to them for all this time. They never answered my calls.
Period. No one's stealing it. They throwing it away because it's just left out there. That is what the sign says. We don't go through it to see whose it is or anything.
Are we able to redirect to what I'm actually stating, or do I need to continue to hear you say something that I wasn't communicating with you?
Actually, I'm going to end the call because we are going in circles. So when you want to take the time and discuss something that we can,
Ma'am, I thought that this was a strategy to keep conflict going, ma'am, and then blaming me for it like my family's doing. I'm just trying to prove it.
Miss Brown at the Bridge, Homeless Recovery Center.
That I can't report that your staff was committing crimes? You won't let me report your staff was committing crimes, Miss Brown?
I am going to release this.
You want to release the line because I'm reporting misconduct of your staff? So this nonsense after being at the police department, that's the man that put me out, pushed and shoved me for trying to get services. I lived at the Bridge, and I had an appointment with my caseworker. So they were so crooked at this time when I wasn't recording, he pushed and shoved me, and they were laughing and joking around and disrespecting me like that and put me off property for trying to meet with my case manager. Then after I tried to do a complaint about the theft, he put me out again. So then the police department brought me there. I had just got out of jail. The police department had stole my property. I was arrested at Red Roof Inn. They came on their own and then enlisted Red Roof Inn to set me up. So not to be held accountable for the theft, they claimed that they had took my property back to Red Roof Inn and had Red Roof Inn put it in the storage for them. So that was they had my cash, my ID, and my credit card and all of the things of that sort. I wanted my cash. I didn't want Red Roof Inn with having that. So the police department in Malice took my money and all my property of that sort to Red Roof Inn. That way I'd be destitute and have problems upon my release. But they have been doing this years. So each time I get out of jail, the police department is sending me on scavenger hunts looking for my property in Malice. I want you to take note of the drama. In my environments upon my entrance, I met with things like this for the emotional aspect of it. You have to keep in context that someone with a mental illness is running the government.
They're denied. They said they're
all this
with the
incentive
shelter already, so I don't get service.
So they had me wait so they can, my entrance to the bridge would be like this for me to get denied services. They're really hijacking the bridge and enforcing crimes on civilians.
This is what you do when you have a mental illness in the government.
So multiple different times I went to hospitals and my entrance was like this.
Now that I have to sleep outside for days, that no shelter will let you in without.
And then they tried to minimize it now since I started recording all of this insanity. You think that it's not really me? You think that, I'm exaggerating? There's another purpose for all these cars? No, it's me. Let me show you another video.
COVID test so I can the bridge. Chaos. So they brought me here.
I'm sure you didn't believe me about getting fixed up and at the bus stop. So I'm sure you didn't believe me about putting on makeup and getting all fixed up. So I'm at the bus stop, ready to catch the bus. And this lady, this gang stalker, I know she's a gang stalker because she acts weird and blocks my path and do other strange things at the bridge shelter. She also follows me around. And I'm trying to prove that the gang stalkers and the police department are in cahoots together. These people that behave odd, they're all in cahoots together. So nonetheless, the gang stalker lies on me, and I'm just sitting at the bus stop. She don't even make sense. She cursed me out, hassled me, demanded my bus pass. So she's hassling me and then slandering me, but the police has been patrolling, stalking me before this even happened. And I know that when I saw the police car circling that they're about to do something, they're up to no good. I'm just trying to prove that the police department is stalking me and doing things in malice. So I'm waiting to see what con the police department has next, and I haven't been able to stop them in their crimes. So this is exactly what they had up their sleeve to enlist someone else to take the fall for their criminal activity.
They're paying using your tax dollars to set this crap up. It's not on accident. They're setting this chaos.
Look at all this. But when I wasn't recording, 7 or 8 police would come to hassle me and mistreat me. Four police cars.
It wouldn't let me go live. They're having these people lie on me and con the police department.
So when they don't want to incriminate themselves, they use this false security to take the fall for the crime.
How you doing, man? Fine. Are you catching the bus today?
Notice he's trying to cover his name tag in badge information. That's not incriminating at all.
Okay. So what's the issue with this other lady? She's lying. I told you that multiple parties lie, and you guys, I think you're setting it up.
You haven't told me anything. I just started.
I told the DART police. Because I don't know why multiple people lie on me. You're covering up your name? Are you committing a crime?
It's right there.
How do you say it? Let me see it.
Because I don't know if they're going to scam to take my freedom. They've done it 20 other times and nothing was done. I can't go to court to see what the con is or get records.
And what's your name?
So back to the question I asked, what's going on with this other
I don't know if they're just going to up and shoot me and my family's covering for it everywhere I'm at, church.
Setting up civilians.
I'm asking what's happening with
I told you repeatedly that people lie on me all the time, and
that's not telling me what's happening today. You're talking generalities. I'm talking specifics.
Nothing happened.
Specifically, what's going on with this lady?
She lied.
What happened was I was dressed up, about to catch the bus. That's what happened.
Why'd she call the police and saying
people do it all the time? People do it all the time.
So you understand on the dark property you can't use profanity, right?
She used profanity. I didn't.
I didn't accuse you of using profanity.
Yeah, she did.
And why would 4 police cars come because someone used profanity? That con didn't work.
I'm trying to get your side of the
I don't know what she said I did for 4 police to come
She told
and harass me.
She told me what happened.
So now the alibi is
what happened. Can you tell me? Because she's lying. What did she say happened? Because if you enlisted this lady to help you intimidate me like you've been doing for years.
Right now, you're going to, if you want to take this bus, okay.
Control. If you want to use the bus.
You buy a ticket. I'm at the bus stop. I purchased it. I thought you could purchase tickets on the bus.
All right, cool. We'll wait here until the bus comes and you purchase the ticket.
Okay, but
so they want to control and see where I'm going to create havoc, where I'm going block past cars coming at the bus, knowing you never believe it. Burnt food. People threatening me.
You're abusing your power to repetitively set up people to.
Potential crime that's not harassment or abusing my power.
I saw police come by.
You're not cooperating, so the only person.
I mean, you've gotten away with assaulting me and arresting me with no consequences. So I mean, you can terrorize with no crime, nothing. It's
so
done
where are you going
repetitively. I like to keep it to myself.
Well, that's not how dark works. So you can if you're going to be using dark services, you can tell me your destination.
Okay, well I'll leave.
Because if I told them my destination, they'll just enlist the location to terrorize me. So I just wasn't able to use the transit. That's problem solved.
MVille 630, and this criminal right here tried to hide it. He don't want me using transit.
I can't make you read.
Come out, set up schemers.
You said you was leaving because it sounds like you're replacing.
So go ahead and leave.
So they will arrest me for catching a bus. No, they haven't racked up their felonies. The intimidation.
It's already happened.
And what was the con that she said in your scheme? They don't have to tell me. That bully. This is a crime right here.
You'll get a criminal
trespass. Well, what? Okay, it's a felony you committing. So you're threatening me with a criminal trespass, but what's your charge for doing this repetitively over and over? A criminal trespass is a misdemeanor. Is this a felony? What you're doing?
By the bridge.
So this is what he repetitively does. When I get myself, I have put on lip gloss. I haven't put on the makeup yet. This is what happens. Have a lovely day. Just sitting at the bus stop.
And then when they want to capitalize off how I look, and it wasn't safe for me to look nice.
I put on makeup.
So the reason why these places, the heads of these locations are enlisting civilians and people staying at the shelter to commit crimes. So they have to cover for it. Staff is telling these people to commit crimes. And security.
I don't know why I get punished when I report to security that I get harassed.
Let's start this over.
Hey, that's why I'm putting you out here to pull out, to get you to gather your thoughts and stuff.
I'm struggling with my bags and I get harassed, Jay Whitaker.
Come on.
This has happened at multiple different locations for reporting harassment. They put me out because they're setting it up, knowing you'd never believe my story.
Jay Whitaker.
Okay, that's why I'm putting you out here.
I got put out of the Austin shelter for reporting harassment.
I'm struggling with my bags and I get harassed, Jay Whitaker.
And they panic when I record.
I don't know why I get punished when I report to security that I get harassed. And you're making me carry these bags. Jay Whitaker.
Okay, that's why I'm putting you.
So I just called the police on them to report that how these shelters are mistreating me, how I get mistreated at the shelters, harassed, denied services, and then I was even banned when I wasn't even there.
And I don't know how to flee it. I was trying to report.
They said that I was banned for my behavior and I hadn't been there.
Keep an eye on my bags right here. Yeah.
And multiple other shelters said that I was banned and I hadn't been there.
So I get harassed at a lot of locations, and I got harassed at Austin Street, and I was shoved, and I was assaulted.
So eventually, the police department tells this shelter staff to put me on property.
That was back in the day, but I was trying to report harassment here.
That I was banned. He told them, he reminded them that I was banned, and they needed to put me on property.
I don't know what to do. You stayed here before this court? Yeah, I don't know.
This is my abusive case manager that withheld services. He started arguments and was psychologically abusive.
when I was called, I had
The only thing
client
that he
in
did
front
the
of
whole
me.
time was
Okay.
tell me to go get a birth
I was
certificate,
dealing with them.
and it was supposed to be
Once
free, and I
finished
had to
with
pay
them,
for it.
I hurried up to come
Okay.
okay.
They're
So
supposed to
sorry I took too
supply
long.
you with funds
But
to pay for the birth certificate.
you've been banned.
Okay.
I can advocate for you to get back in.
Okay,
But
then-
it won't be today.
Okay.
Okay, because none of my
So they got tired of scamming, and then just got to the
Can I
point to where
have
they
your
said, forget it,
information?
you just
Will you
can't
place
take
me in
it.
a safe
And we don't
environment?
know
Am I
why.
like
Somebody
a
else needs to
program
be
for
able
like
to
high
do it.
elite people, whatever the
Once you're banned, I'm really not even supposed to be out here talking to you, but I am.
Oh.
Once you're banned,
But this is because I'm recording.
You don't
Before
think
I
that's
was
a
banned and hadn't been there.
for them to ban me when I'm not here and to put me out for getting things stolen and then try to report
I
harassment?
wasn't. What you trying to put me in place where the whole situation. I don't
just
know
thought you
what
were case
happened.
manager. I know the legal stuff here and a lot of services they have here, so I'm just trying to get help and I don't know how to get it.
I think you're going through the right channels at this point.
Okay.
When we're reporting harassment, now you did the right thing by letting them
No,
know.
because they put me out of it.
I don't know what happened.
I'm telling you.
I get what you're saying, but
And
that's
they
a
did it
one-sided
that's
story,
off
right?
the street. They have
That's your
cameras.
side, right?
They have cameras to let someone review
Okay.
it.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I'm hearing your side right now.
They have cameras. You can review it.
Okay, but I don't have that authority. They do.
Okay, but they told me it was in your it was in your ballpark.
What?
Getting me back in, they told me.
So they have that. They eventually removed me first, but they would like to play mind games in multiple different environments. So he sets an appointment. Then at my appointment time, somebody else's appointment went over. So I wait. Then appointment time, then he'd say, hold on. He'd leave. Then he'd take a phone call. It's mind games. So then the people are coming in needing assistance. They did this when I was trying to get my taxes done. So I'm being put on hold, distracted, and deflected to get nowhere. Then when he's not doing that, he started arguments. Hill County Jail, they took me out of my cell, said my attorney wanted to speak with me, and I was so grateful because I was there on false charges, but she was crooked anyway. So they took me out my cell. They said she had to talk to somebody else. Wait, I did. Then after 10, 15 minutes of games, then I'm at the edge of my seat trying to speak with my attorney because the shelter staff, the jail staff would mistreat me and bully me for asking about things on my case, regarding my case, and wouldn't tell me. So nonetheless, and eventually Diane Hammer went to jail for the abuse that I experienced there. Someone tipped it off what they saw. And then they have to control the jails now to make sure they put me in quarantine, isolated units so they can terrorize me and not be held accountable like Diane Hammer was. So nonetheless, they took me out my cell, and then after all that, they said that they had another inmate she spoke with, and I wouldn't be seeing her today. Then another time in Garland when I was arrested for at the Texas Rangers for trying to report crimes to keep me away from my children, and that I was targeted. When I was arrested then, they took me out my cell and said I had a court date at 1 or 2, and then they scammed that the computer didn't work. I woke me up out of my sleep. They kept doing things like this. If this is how you terrorize someone, it caused me to have fear sleeping because I would have peaceful sleep. And then they scam to interrupt it, like having these inmates threaten someone from nowhere, like I peaceful sleep. I'm gonna kill you! And then I was terrified. I'm gonna kill you, hear me? Every single false arrest. And then someone was taking satisfaction out of the terror, so I had to sleep up under the blanket so they couldn't get a high off my terror. And then a lot of times here in my own environment, I have to hide up under the pillows laughing or up under the cover when I laugh because there'll be someone that's enlisted to set up psychological abuse. So you imagine repeatedly at hospitals the same thing over and over again. Anyone willing to do law enforcement can see it. So they have patients come stay right by the staff would even put a chair by my room, my hospital room. That way they can do it. And then they do it all night. It's deliberate to cause someone didn't like that peaceful sleep and wanted to scam and interrupt it. So, like I said, multiple different times, it happened multiple different times a night. Then it's, I'll kill you! You hear me, B? You hear me? And there's someone is setting it up. Then another party, when I was in Austin jail, they scammed that I was the party creating that disturbance. That I was me has these records, the documentation about someone's cell, and I complained about this party cell because it had a stench. And there's conning that they accidentally had it misconstrued that her tank was me. So in my records, they have this con artist inmate, her behavior on my record. That's the person with the filthy cell that they said, "Do you want to clean up your cell?" And then she said, "These are my things." I heard the conversation because I could get complaints that it had a stench, and then she would do the same thing, yell, and it was torment. But I realized every single false arrest I've had 20 that they're scamming and hospital stays to wake me up out of my sleep. To this day, I'm still traumatized and I'm still trying to recover. At shelters, they'll drop something from nowhere and then yell and do the same thing. So I'm started out of my sleep because they'll deliberately drop something by my bed to wake me up out of my sleep. It's a mind game only me and the accomplices are supposed to know. Otherwise, I'm supposed to be paranoid and schizophrenic. Anyone willing to do law enforcement, they can check and see that my story is true. So nonetheless, so I'm asking for a police department.
Drink, sir? Oh, there it is. Okay, people just repeating. So they kind of direct them on the con that they have already set up.
So he's telling them to tell them.
Prearranged.
Why do you say all this has been prearranged?
So conspiracy to violate rights is crime. So they have to con purposes for doing this repetitively with no consequences.
And you see the color on my device is just changing on its own, where you can't see.
All right, Ms. Clark, we're fixing to find out what the circumstances are.
Yeah, you're not gonna give me a ticket report.
I call the police to report them to do an investigation on why I'm being treated like this at shelter.
I appreciate you coming out, though, officer.
Well, if you're trying to help me, why am I not in witness protection, and why won't you give me DV assistance? And I want a report number on why I keep getting put out for reporting abuse.
Local police cannot help you with that.
I want a report number. I call.
Harassment's a crime.
Report on why these businesses slander me repetitively and put me out for reporting abuse. I reported a tamper with evidence as a felony. And for you to deprive me of reporting that, like you guys have been doing, is criminal.
Nobody's depriving you.
Well, they have camera footage, and you did not say that you would look at the camera footage to see why I keep getting slandered. And then you want to force me getting banned for his cons.
That's what I'm trying to find in there.
Because they told me the other day that the lie was that I was starting an argument. But I am doing a police report to let you know that these multitude of locations keep my life in jeopardy by slandering me and putting me out for getting assaulted, threatened, things stolen. That's not normal, and I'm trying to report that to you, and I don't understand why you guys keep covering for it, leaving me in jeopardy. My name's Kiana, Keyana.
So eventually they're just going to tell them to put me on property.
I'm doing a police report to figure out if you're setting this up, and then therefore you cover for it, which is criminal.
What's your date of birth? Staff with your phone when they brought you in?
Yeah. Well, the reason why
more police are coming, patrolling the area. They want police departments enforce crimes on police.
On the phone when they're actually the criminals having them do it.
You've been banned 2 weeks for reporting staff. This happened last night.
Who told you I was recording staff?
That's what it says.
Who told them I was recording? Right, because they're committing crimes. Conspiracy to violate rights.
They don't know about my YouTube channel. That's like the lady that came over here, knocked on the door, created that she was furious. Some kind of way she found my channel and don't want to talk about it. They're not supposed to know about my channel to know I recorded that. But it's a con. They're using that as a strategy to keep me from subsistence and wreak havoc in my life, like they repeatedly keep doing.
I recorded her because I was getting harassed.
That's a client here.
That's my case manager that violated
I
me.
get slandered. Yeah, you're my caseworker. Yeah, and I told you that I get violated. You said the legal stopped and you could not find out when the housing.
You told me they were in conspiracy.
I don't know why you keep yelling, sir, like you did in our meeting.
No, my voice is
when you walked off.
I'm passionate about what I'm speaking about.
I get you're passionate, but I told you I was in a domestic violence crisis, and I don't think that would be the healthiest. But we're deflecting on why
like it is with my family.
She lied on me. We're deflecting on why she lied. Last night, the con was that I got into it with her. Who told you guys that I recorded?
Now, that's in your case note that you've been recording.
They denied me mail call. They told me to come at that time and convince me and then wouldn't give me my mail. I just stopped coming because they wouldn't give it to me. That's a felony. They looked at me and then ignored me, and then I started recording. We're not doing mail call. But they told me to come. So I'm telling. Okay, so they had a connector And then Austin Street, I don't know exactly how it worked, but they had their own transportation that the shelter denied me. They denied me all case management. They denied me washing. They denied me access to the Wi-Fi and play games with the clothes. They gave me horrible clothes, like a blanket. Everybody else got nice blankets. They gave me a blanket from the 70s. I gave it away. I wouldn't use it because it looked dirty too. I was being degraded. It takes them an extended amount of time, and someone is bringing them something to degrade me. So they also withheld mail multiple different times, which is a felony. Then I had multiple different thefts. They stole everything that I had. I'd accumulate things, go through my things, and get organized within like a day or two. Then they scam a theft. They scam that they lost it or something would happen. Someone was deliberately, this is how my wardrobe was being controlled. All the locations scam to keep me from clothing. I would have nice clothes through the clothing closets and different things like that. Then my abuser wanted to scam because he didn't like my appearance. So he scammed with them to degrade me during clothes. So I bought clothes. Okay. I just bought my own clothes. So then when I accumulated clothes, they steal them. And then I get robbed. I'm just trying to prove my experiences. Hospitals did it. So call the police on them.
What are you talking about?
I'm watching everybody else use their transit.
Okay, so you are doing a police report? You're doing committing a crime right now, violating my civil rights, sir? Are you trying to intimidate me?
I called the police.
I heard that was up to 10 years on the FBI page. And it's worse when people with badges do it.
Hey, let me tell you something. You fixing to go to jail for
I think my device is glitching.
I'm trying to talk to you. I've been waiting a long time to do a police report. And I thought it was crime for you to hinder evidence.
This is being recorded, and it's a black
civil
screen.
rights, then you wouldn't write your name down.
They just rack up felonies left and right. That's not what happened. You could see him driving off.
All right. So if you're seeing this,
I told you that they altered videos, and it sounds like sometimes in some videos what's being said is altered. Like Austin police said that you're being arrested for making a false report. It has now changed it that you're being arrested for a 911 abusive call. I know you didn't believe me. So in this video, you can see the police driving off, but it has altered to now it's a black screen. My device is glitching. It immediately corrected when I started recording.
Record it again. No mail pickup today again. He slammed the door.
They're telling me to come.
Clearly, because that's a felony. Y'all have done me.
This is Austin Street Shelter, the same location that put me out in the snow for talking to a man. Everyone else can stay there freely. They dictated me, wouldn't let me be in the bathroom getting ready, would not let me put on makeup in the shelter, period. Put me out multiple different times. And that's how I was treated. Don't talk to anyone. You'll get out. I saw security going through my bag, opening things like at the bridge shelter. And then it would spill all over the place, playing games with lotion, letting it spill all over new clothes, ruining things. Then they wouldn't let me wash. They scammed that you had to have a job to wash. So keep in mind, this isn't, coupons or like a bill. This is, I'm fighting for my life. I've done a campaign. I got things from the 255th District Court. I got things from the Northern District Court. And I got other imperative things fighting for my life. I have multiple different cases on me in corruption. I have some serious things going on. I'm targeted by multiple different police departments. In addition, the crimes to keep me away from my child. And I'm trying to get housing, and they would not give me case management. So I'm signing up for housing for myself all over the place and advocating for myself. So this is critical mail that all locations I'm at deprive me of. And I'm sure this crime's still being committed here. And you could tell because I signed up for all these services and I only get bills. All the services and all the help that I sign up for and anything good, I'm deprived of. If I sign up, if I get food stamps, I don't get the mail on the food stamps. They don't even want me having that documentation of anything positive. They don't give me, typically they let you know, you get an award letter of how much you're going to get. I never get it. So I'll call the police on them because that's criminal.
Okay.
Theft of my property multiple times.
Is I have a police report with Corporal Williams.
Okay.
And I've contacted you guys, letting you know that my civil rights are violated, and that's against the law.
Right.
I've had thefts and harassment, and I reported it to you. Yes, I asked you if you refuse an investigation to figure out for the thefts. And I have a police report with Corporal Williams with 60
They put me out for getting assaulted.
Civil rights. Okay. And you just said you're refusing it totally and completely. Okay, so...
Totally. 100%. I'll do that in front of you, supervisor, right here.
Okay, so you're violating my civil work?
We will be pleased to investigate that. Any other question?
Okay, so let me make sure I understand.
Okay.
So you're refusing to investigate?
If I recording, you can play it back, and yes, I'm refusing to investigate.
Okay.
Any other question?
Okay, so you're refusing to investigate credit card fraud, harassment.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Any question?
No, I think this prison sentence is going to be pretty soon.
All right.
Because I think
That was 5 years ago.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And it still hasn't happened.
Yeah, good for you.
So the credit card fraud is that when my abuser was upset, I couldn't use my credit card. I had to get away from SMI one card. Like all the crimes that you see, they would repeatedly cover for crimes. So like if a hotel stay was supposed to be $120, I get charged $170. If the food was supposed to be $15, I get charged $20. If I went to a restaurant in person and it was $12, the SMI one card demanded that I pay $15 or $16. They claimed they put their own tip. I'm homeless fighting for my life. If I book a Lyft and it said $15, it'd be $20. I was nickel and dime. So, but sometimes he'd be so furious, he just disabled the card where I couldn't use it, period. And then they demand that I get another card mailed, and I could barely get my mail. Okay, so I guess this is it for today. The reasoning behind me doing this is I'm still trying to prove that my environments are controlled, which is not fair to me and the other parties. I'm not quite certain who would entice the Bridge Shelter and multiple different other parties to steal from someone and convince them that theft is not criminal. And then terrorize them at locations. Harassment is also criminal, and depriving someone of mail is also a felony. So I'm just not quite certain on what, and then conspiracy to violate rights is also a felony. This is just the limited knowledge that I have.
Army of Tyler, Texas, where we're doing the most good. Our office hours are for Army Lodge. How can I help you?
Yes, you have a black woman there that had been there for a long time. I can't think of her name.
Ma'am?
You have a black lady there that had been there for a long time. I can't think of her name. Do you know her name?
Yeah, ma'am. No, ma'am. What do you need?
I'm trying to identify this lady so I can speak with her.
Yeah. There's no one here but me, and I'm not a lady.
Okay, you're not familiar. What, may I have your name?
Yes, Fisher.
Okay.
You call back probably Monday.
Monday? Today's Thursday?
Yes.
And you're not aware of the employees that live there? That work there?
I guess I am, but I'm not who you're talking about. Anyway.
You don't have a black lady there, period?
Yes, ma'am. Listen to you. I can't tell you who's here.
No, I'm just asking. I'm trying to make sure that it's the right lady. What's the black lady's name?
Yeah, call back Monday.
I don't know. Is there something wrong, sir? This is abnormal?
Yes, no, ma'am. I just can't tell you who works here and who's staying here, that kind of thing.
Oh, so now you can't release if someone's trying to get a hold of someone.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a good day.
They don't want me speaking because the police department came there and removed me and gave me a criminal trespass on their own. So they know they're controlling my phone and monitoring it. So they don't want you to know. And then they cover for someone bringing a hammer at me. So it was a lady trying to start an argument, and these people were acting so weird. She was trying to start an argument, so I just pretended like I didn't hear her, because that way she couldn't argue. Because so many people were trying to start arguments, and I didn't understand. So she was trying to talk to me and argue, and I wouldn't talk to her. I just kept my headphones on. So she started raging and moving in her things. Then another lady came in with a hammer, and like she was about to hit me. They thought that was going to scare me, and then cause me to give them the reaction that they wanted. But I didn't do anything. I ignored the lady bringing a hammer toward me. They wanted that fear and torment. So I ignored her too. And then after that, she eventually left, So after she left, I went down to staff and I told this black lady that eventually wouldn't give me assistance. She said during each appointment, she had an emergency during the apartment appointment and couldn't give me case management. So I told her the lady came at me with a hammer, and I asked her what happened with the roommate that was raging, and she said that she was going through something, and she said that you did something. I said, how? I had my headphones on, and I saw her raging and wouldn't talk to her. She said, I don't know. Don't worry about it. She's gone now. And then I said, what happened with the lady bringing the hammer at me? And she said the black lady said that you did something to her. To her friend, and she was upset that you did something to her friend. I said that warranted her to bring a hammer at me? She said, well, yeah, that was a bit inappropriate. I said, and then she let her stay there. I said, you would condone someone coming at someone with a hammer? Well, she said that she thought that you had did something to her friend and she was just trying to protect her friend. But I had headphones on. And this is how I had to live. So I know that people start arguments is just the point of proving it. So since I know that I just want to talk to people, and then they just started lying, forget it. Since you won't talk to us, we'll create conflict. Because you will go through it. It was bought off and paid for before we even came to you with the problem.
Mission for Women and Children.
Yes, I have a question. May I ask how long you've been there?
Ma'am?
May I ask how long you've been working there? I have a question.
Oh, Carla?
How long have you been working there? May I ask?
I don't work here. I'm just doing the front desk today.
Oh, you're just doing the front desk? Is there anyone that does work there?
Yes. Let me get you in contact with someone.
Okay. Strange. But I would explain stranger. I would say imagine doing the front desk. It's kind of like doing work. Hopefully I don't get a voicemail.
If I told you my story.
Message and they'll call you back.
Okay. Do you work, are you at the shelter location at the front desk?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a dishwasher or do the clients wash dishes there?
The clients.
Okay. When did that start?
No, the residents that live here wash them.
Okay. When did that start? Because you had someone that did the dishes.
Yeah, we have someone to do everything, all the chores.
Okay, so the residents do the chore, because it used to be that you had staff that wash dishes. It changed?
It changed, yes.
Okay, so now the residents wash dishes.
Yes, they wash clothes, they clean, we do everything.
Okay, because I was the only one when I was sick that had to wash dishes. Then another party started an argument with me after I got clothes and demanded that I sleep on the floor in the kitchen.
Oh.
Have you ever heard of anything like that?
No.
Well, I called the police because a crime was being committed on another situation, and she panicked and needed to talk to the police. So I guess she wanted to make sure I wasn't reporting her. But multiple different other parties started arguments, and I'm trying to prove it. People typically don't return my call. And then the case manager was lying. I knew it was actually a party that was keeping me from her son. It was her mother. And ironically, she was set as my case manager, and she started arguments and deprived me of services. So I had to leave because I was bullied and mistreated so much. Then there was a theft of some hair grease that I had just bought for my hair, a light hairdressing oil, and I just didn't understand why I had only been there a couple of days while someone was still there. And then start an argument with me.
Take it out there.
Is someone talking to you while you're talking? That happens on a lot of calls.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we have a lot of calls. They won't make it. I have no control over what's going on. You'll have to call back at another time and speak to a case manager.
Okay. Now, a lot of people don't have control. I assume that's why it hasn't stopped. Did you want to take the number?
Yeah.
People typically don't return my calls. Did you want to take a number? No, you're not concerned about misconduct, about someone demanding someone to sleep on the floor?
It's not my job. I'm a resident here myself.
Don't argue with her? She's eavesdropping on your call?
No. Ma'am, I'm going to have to take your number and you're going to have to call.
She is eavesdropping. If she can hear, why would anyone want to argue with someone that was being violated repeatedly over and over? But here's my phone number. I just don't understand why someone would want to argue with someone that was at your location being violated.
No, I don't have any control over that.
I know, but I'm trying to get a remedy so nobody else has to be mistreated. But I mean, why would someone think that someone trying to be treated properly is arguing? And why would they condone behavior like that? This woman also went to the Social Security Administration with me while things were behaving odd and were odd. Stalking is a felony charge. So I don't know why people aren't taking these crimes seriously. But I can give you my number. She was supposed to be at work and followed me to the Social Security Administration.
Okay, well, I need your number.
She said she'll relay the message. They don't call me back. So the Social Security Administration, I had a number, and it was a long wait. And I think maybe, let's say that my number was 11, and they didn't call me. And I was like on 20, 25. And then they kept calling other people. And you know how they call people, they put people in certain categories, and then they let you know, but they skipped over me. And I was waiting like an extra 30 minutes. And then the person was behaving odd, gave me a hard time because I was in jail on false charges and I didn't have my social. And I needed my social. And they gave me a hard time. And then with the other incident with money that I was supposed to be eligible for, they just really didn't give me a lot of direction on how to solve an issue. And it took up too much time, and I didn't want to deal with it because they had already skipped over me. So I'm just trying to establish that I see familiar faces when there's had going on. She should not have been at the Social Security Administration where weird things were happening when she was at work at the shelter. I'm just trying to expose the conspiracy.
Is unavailable. To dial another extension, press 1.
So they don't even want me
leave a
talking to
voicemail,
this
press
domestic
2,
violence
or
prevention
simply
and
stay
text
on
for
the
Kenna.
line.
Let's see what happens.
Please leave a message after the tone.
I'm not quite certain on how a domestic violence organization is not answering the phone for women in crisis situations. It's bizarre. Let's try again. Something's wrong. So this location put me out when I was gone. That's why they don't want me to talk to them. And when I wasn't recording and didn't have the channel, they didn't care. They just had, I went to go report my abuser, came back, and my stuff was outside in the box.
0 is unavailable. To dial another extension, press 1. To leave a voicemail, press 2, or simply stay on the line. The tone.
They don't call me back. Hello, my name is Kiana Clark. I've been calling years to get clarity on why when I left to report my abuser that I came back and my items were outside in the box and I was not permitted shelter stay any further. In addition to that, the representative halted on a lot of the services that she said she'd give me. She discontinued all support and services. She was supposed to be doing police accompaniment for the police department. For my situation, I had to go to the FBI. I told her I was afraid because the government law enforcement was in cahoots with my abuse, and she deprived me of the accompaniment that you offer. So nonetheless, yes, I'd like to get clarity on what possessed this organization to put me out when I wasn't even there. I couldn't have done anything wrong. And they have not given me clarity on why you guys behave like that. Please return my call. It's been years and I haven't had any kind of information on what happened. They're not going to call me back. So I'm just trying to see how many patterns will equal the risk. Because I'm as sure as what you've heard, all they repeatedly keep doing is scamming to get me out of any kind of comfort, stability, over and over again without being held accountable. So each location, I can never be comfortable because I have to wait on another scam.